The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply. USAA.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Here's our hosts, Steve Collins, and Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome. Coaching Youth Hoops.
Coach, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
It's spring. I love spring.
You know what? My wife is cooking right now, and she's making brisket, and I can smell it, and my stomach is just going crazy right now.
We stopped at Buc-ee's. You ever stop at Buc-ee's?
I've never heard of Buc-ee's. What's Buc-ee's?
Ooh, you Google Buc-ee's. It's a big. I mean, it was like we stopped at it in Alabama. There's actually putting one outside of Madison, but it's this huge. It's like Quick Trip meets Walmart. But they sell like brisket. They sell like all these like foods, and it's huge. Like it's Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
It's like a rest stop kind of place on the highway.
Is it a restaurant?
No, well, if they have food in there, it's Buccees, Buc-ee's.
Oh,
it's a convenience store company, and they got it was great. Like we were almost on the couldn't get off the highway to stop at it on the way down. That's how busy it was.
Buc-ee's, yeah.
But to talk about brisket, you can smell the brisket. They're chopping it up, and there's all these sandwiches and.
I love
Buc-ee's. Oh, it's a huge thing. Like Buc-ee's is an American chain of country stores, gas stations, and Tesla superchargers created and owned by Archie Beaver Apple and headquarters in Jackson, Texas. It was founded in 1982. They have 44 locations right now.
Wow. Yeah. Hasn't
Crazy.
Reached west.
Hasn't reached out there yet. But yeah, it's like wall drugs when you're driving through Alabama. Like Buc-ee's is coming up. Anyway, all right. So before we jump into today's topic, let's talk. I'm super excited about the next couple weeks as you and I are working diligently for our pre-launch of coachingyouthhoops.com and everything.
The next thing that we're doing to ourselves too is we're putting a date out. We got to have it.
I know. I told you that. I told you when I launched teaching, you literally have to do that, or you just procrastinate. Life gets in the way. That's the problem. Yeah. So it's going to be everything you need to become a youth basketball coach. Super excited. It's going to be practice plans. It's going to be a roadmap. It's going to be literally one-stop shop. Everything, one price. If you want to get it in the pre-launch, you will never see a better price. There's two reasons. First of all, the reasons you should get in. First is you're never going to see a better price than you see before May 3rd. I think it's May 3rd. And the second thing is you have a chance to win an IC3, which is it's not a machine, but it's a shooting thing that goes on. It's a retail value is like $600. It's awesome. It's from Dr. Dish, goes on your basket. Super cool. I love it. Actually, I've had two of them. Use them for camp now. But anyway, it's not the machine, but it's actually catches it. So much better than those other $39 ones you buy at, it has a net. So if you miss off right or left, it catches it. So it's great. But you got to be in by the time we start that Zoom or that webinar or that masterclass where we're going to do on May 3rd, that launch party. If you're not in before then, you don't have a chance to win because we're going to do
and if you're listening to this, you're probably a pretty hardcore youth basketball coach,
right?
But like as Steve said, the price is going to go up after the launch. It's just too good. I mean,
it's too much. It's too cheap. Him and I have argued about this, and I've lost, and he's won. So I give him this, but
so
I thought it should be more.
Me, right? Saving a little.
I'm willing to leave it at the price it is till May. Then it's going up because it's like the practice plans alone are worth that. So like not even the other stuff. But
I literally was going to raise my practice plans to about that price just because they're thick.
They're thick and it's everything. And you can print it off and you can watch the video and you can Anyway.
And you're probably not thinking about, if you're in the States, you're probably not thinking about basketball yet because you got to get through Little League and soccer and then you're into your fall but we wanted to do it now, so by the fall it's ramped up, and the benefit to you is the low price, and it's only going to get better.
And it's similar to when I launched Teach Hoops. It's like we got to get some people in so you guys can tell us what you want.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
We need this, we need that. Like we have 50 years of experience here, if not more, that we can, if something's not there and you want it, we can get it for you.
Yeah.
We want it. Yeah. Not nuclear physics. Won't take me that long to do it.
But it's just organized. It's going to save you a ton of time and a ton of money. I mean, I know before all of this, when I was coming up in the ranks of youth hoops, I spent way too much money on PDFs and everything else, searching around and then putting the practice plan together. It's like, finally, it's we've created this just for you guys for one stop because it's ridiculous. You shouldn't take that much.
There's nothing on the market like this, and there won't be anything, and no one's got the time because we've spent the last year and a half doing this. This is not like some little PDF handouts, and this is not like we're not going to not dime and nickel. It's like, here you go. You want this? Here you go. This is what you need.
I think what's important for the youth coach is that roadmap. Right. And I think today's topic is perfect kind of segue into one of the problems that we're trying to solve for these coaches is practice planning. And I know we talked about practice planning on this podcast before, but I think what's important to really discuss here is really what is the pain point of practice planning, right? Like, and the Coaching Youth Hoops that we're launching solves. That's just one of the things that it solves. It takes away the pain. But what is the pain? Why does it take long? What are the struggles?
Well, I can tell you from a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so we're filming, we're doing this, and then after we're off this, I'm gonna go figure out what I'm gonna do for the week for my classes because I teach statistics.
Go eat my brisket is what
he's gonna go eat brisket, and I'm gonna go do my lesson plans, which are my practice plans, and I can tell you it's going to take the rest of the evening, because a good practice plan or a good lesson is structured. You know what you're going to do. You're probably going to have more information than you need, but there's a meaning to the madness. Like, I got to do this, and then I got to do this, and I got to teach this, and I got to go over this, and it's the same thing. And as all of us, and probably most youth coaches, this isn't what you're doing. It's like I always refer back to my son's baseball team. It's like I would have given my right arm for this because I was searching YouTube, I was searching handouts, I was asking other coaches, I was doing all that stuff. Well, we'll have done all of that for you in the practice plans. But I think that's for me, that's one of the reasons I was always pushing Bill that we needed to do this, is because that was a pain point I had. That was an issue I had as a youth coach of a non-sport. I played baseball when I was a kid, but I'm not a baseball coach. I'm not a soccer coach. I'm definitely not a soccer coach. It took me a year to figure out offsides. Hell, I like watching it. But and there was a youth organization around Madison that was really good about kind of hiring coaches that knew and giving them practice plans and giving them things. That's what you need. That was always my pain point. It's like, I know the game, I know what you're supposed to do, but what am I supposed to teach them? How am I supposed
to? I think that's really important, is when, at what progression. If you have, I don't know, most coaches that I've run into the last year, have about 24-ish practices. Well, your practice 1, you're teaching something different than you are practice 24. And
right.
It really is a progression based on the level of your team. But there are certain things that you need to teach them along the way for their age.
Right. And there's different things. There's all these nuances that we're going to help you with. And that of our PowerPoints, there's skill based. Like if you're going to do math, if you're going to take algebra 2 or geometry, you need to know some basic arithmetic. So there's some skill based stuff. There's some small sided game stuff where you're learning the skills within a game situation. There's the nuances of teaching them how to actually run an offense or a defense. So there's all these nuances that it drives me bonkers when I hear it out in the world that, you should only do game-based learning, or you should only do this, or you should only do, well, no, there's all these multiple learning styles that we have to get to as far as, the youth players. And I think
the only thing a coach should do is go to coachyouthhoops.com and sign up. That's the only thing you should do.
It's super easy. Super easy.
And the other thing, the questions that we got a lot this past year with the basketball practice plans site was, what offense do I run? How do I pick an offense?
Right.
Run the 2 most popular ones of 5-out and a 4-4-1. The first blog post we did on the Coaching Youth Hoops site was, how do you pick an offense? Because I think that's really, most people, because that's the scoring aspect of the game, right? And the more points you score, the more fun you have, right? So
right.
That's always a big question. But how do you know what's right for your team? And we'll break that down. We'll have discussions about that, because I think that's an important.
And we're going to give you a roadmap. And then if that road, sometimes you got to go off road because there's an accident ahead, and that offense is. Then we're going to have off ramps for you. That sometimes you got to go off the Buc-ee's and then come back on the highway. You never know. But I'm just saying, maybe you got 2 bigs and you want to run a 3x2, or you want to run a continuity, you want to run a flat. We will have those off ramps for you eventually. Again, we're in the beta form of this, but I think that's what's going to be very helpful moving forward. But that was always my struggle. It's like, when, where, and how do I do this?
And just the drill assembly too. That was always my big thing. It's just, I wanted to keep practice fresh, but as you know, finding it takes time to learn new drills, right? So do I spend my limited practice time teaching a new drill? No, right? I mean, there's modifications you can do to, that's how I kind of built the practice plans too. You have a drill, but then you add different constraints to that drill, so that it's the same drill, but you're adding things to it, so you don't have to teach something new every practice, right? So that's how you keep things fresh,
right?
But that was always a big thing. I mean, the amount of hours I've watched on YouTube, right, to pick out the perfect drill, learn the drill myself before teaching it. Some of the stuff I've never taught before, so
and it's hard. It's like, so what I'm saying is, all of us need a Yoda.
Yeah.
We do. We need somebody like, when I don't know stuff, then that's when I go look up. I'm learning stuff about ChatGPT. I'm learning stuff about WordPress. Things that I don't know, that we know a lot, that's the power. That's the struggle I've always had as a youth coach of non-basketball. Is like, I know what I don't know. You know what I mean? And it's like, someone's got to help me. And the good youth organizations do that. But I think Coaching Youth Hoops will help a lot of coaches moving forward. I really do.
Well, and just getting the question, I mean, we were talking about practice planning, but I know just if I'm struggling putting a plan together, now you have an outlet. And it'll be some place for you to go within our Facebook group, or you and I directly. to come talk to us, right?
Right.
And ask that question. What do you struggle?
And if nothing else, go join the Facebook group is what I'm telling you too.
Yeah.
Worst case scenarios, go join that. Let us help you in there. Bill and I are in there all the time answering questions and trying to move the discussion forward. But any other, what was your biggest power or struggle points?
I think recently was I always thought, were the kids having fun in practice, or was I just trying to get through my agenda? Right? Was it fun? And what is fun? Right. And so, you could really take a time out in a practice and go do a fun game, depending on what level you're doing. Right. And I think that's really important, where it's like, okay, this is strictly fun. We're doing this for fun. If it's, knockout or something.
Right.
But what about your day-to-day drills? Right. And how do you, what's, doing layout?
And it's different. A first grader is different than an eighth grader.
That's right. Yeah. Right. And speaking of that, it's like, well, we get a lot of questions. Well, what do I do with my first and second grade team? My number one, I didn't do this when I was coaching, but I'm telling you, coaches, if I would have done this, and I had somebody to ask this, just play games. And I don't mean just basketball games 5-on-5. I mean, literally come up with a bunch of different quote unquote fun games that they can do. If it's knockout, or there's a lot of dribbling drills and things that you can do that are fun, and chase the tiger or chase the tail, I forget what it's called. And just crazy amount of fun games that they have a ball in their hand and they're shooting. They're not going to learn how to do 5-out spacing at first and second grade anyway. It's just, you're going to be pulling your hair out.
You will be. You will be. All right. So the solution is coachingyouthhoops.com. That's the solution. Not really, but you should go over. I mean, again, anybody that's listened to 6 years of podcasts of me, I'm not going to vouch for anything that I don't believe in, and I don't think it's really good. This is really good. But anyway, go over and check it out. Get in now, and we'll talk next week, Coach.
Next week.
All right. Bye.
See you.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.